Everyone, and welcome to Prof. Dan Tutorials. We'll be looking at what we call descriptive statistics part 1. But for today, our focus is going to be on measuring central value and variability. Okay, first we're going to learn what we call the univariate data. Is a data with just one variable, and when we say measuring central values, there are key terms that can be used to describe this variable or to describe this data, and that is what we are looking at today. So first I'm going to start with what we call mean. Mean simply means average. And how do you find average of a particular data? It is simply sum divided by counts. We're going to take a look at an example, a very simple example. Let's look at this. Let's say the score of some students in a class is given as 6, another student scored 7, and another student scored 8. Okay, now we want to look for the average score, which is called the mean. The average score or the mean is simply sum, that is, add each of the data value divided by count. So what are you counting now? You have 1, 2, 3. So there are 3 different scores. That gives you, finally get 7. So that means that for this example, the average or the mean score of the students is 7. This is how you find mean. Okay, let's look at median. What is median? Median simply means the middle value. And how do we do that? We are going to look at 2 cases here. First, let's say you have something like this. The score of students given as 3, 3, 5, 3, 7. Okay, so let's say we have this. So what do you do about middle value? The first thing, take note, is to order your data. What do you mean by order? Like in ascending order, arranging it from the smallest to the biggest, the largest. Okay, so if we do that, that means that the score 3 comes first, followed by the score 5, and next the score 7. And how do you find the middle value in this case? You can see, starting looking at the left side, you have 3, the right side you have 7, and what stands out at the middle is 5. So the median in this case is 5. That is the middle score. What about case 2? When you have 5, let's say 5, 3, 7, and 9. So in this case, to find the middle value, there are 4 data sets, and that is even, so which means it's even. In the first case, there are 3 data sets, that is what? Odd. 3 is odd. Okay, there are 4 data sets here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is even. When your data set is odd, you will have a single middle value for like this 5. When your data set is even, you will have or end up with 2 middle value. But first, the very first thing, don't forget, when you are dealing with median, you have to order the data set. So we have a student that scored 3, that's the lowest, followed by 5, and then 7, then we have 9. Okay, So let's start from the left side, this goes, right side, this goes. So we are left in this case with this middle value 5 and 7. And what do you do to get this median out? Median is gotten by finding the average of the two middle values, and that at the end of the day gives you 6 as the median. Okay, next let's go to mode. What do we mean by mode? Mode is simply talking about the most often number or the most occurring number in a given data set. So now let's say, and there are two cases I'll also be explaining here. Case 1, as an example, let's say the given score of students is given as 5, 3, 20. We have someone that scored 7 and another student scored 20. Now, how do you find the mode? Yeah, it might be quite easy for you if you arrange your data in ascending order first, just like you did for median. So if we do that here, we have 3 first, followed by 5. Another student has scored 7. We have the first 20 and the second 20. So you've arranged your data value. Next is, how do you get mode? We say mode simply means the most often or most occurring number. The student that scored 3, only one student scored 3, only one student scored 5, only one student scored 7, but we have 2 good students that scored 20. So as you can see, that means that the most occurring is 2, and for that 2 it belongs to student that score 20. So your mode in this case is 20. Okay, case 2. Let's look at this example. We have 5, 3, 5. Let's say we have 20, 7, and another 20. Okay, these are the scores of the students. For easy sake, I can rearrange. I have 3 first, the student that scored 3, followed by, I can see 2 different 5s. So I have 5, 5. Next, I can see 7, then followed by 20 and another 20. So if we look at this, also you can see the score 3 appear once. The score 5 appear 2 times. The student that scored 7 1, and the students that scored 20, there are 2 of them. So now the highest occurring number here is 2, and these 2 appear twice, for score 5 and for score 20. So in this case, when you have 2 different modes, this is called bimodal. So in this particular data, there is bimodal. You can have multiple modes as well, it all depends. And lastly, we have what we call range. Range simply describes the variability in a given data set. Okay, let's look at this B and find the range of this data set B. Range is simply the highest value or the highest data you have minus the lowest data value. So the difference between the highest and the lowest data value is what gives you range, and that is the variability. In this example B, often arrange the data set in ascending order. You can easily see that the highest value there, the score is 20. So I have the highest 20 minus the lowest score of the students is 3. So I have 3. So that is the variability in this given data is 17, and that is the range. Okay, now let's look at this example. and apply what we have learned about the mean, median, mode, and range. The table shows the number of coronavirus survivors across 10 cities. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 across 10 cities. Then we are asked to find the mean, the median, the mode, and the range for these data of coronavirus survivors. The very first thing I will advise you to do is to order your data, that is from the lowest to the highest. This is going to save you a lot of time and it's going to help you. We have 90 as the lowest number of survivors, and we have 250 as the highest number of survivors. So remember to always order your data value. So this is it. Okay, so now let's go to the calculation. We are looking for the average coronavirus survivors across these 10 cities, which is the mean. And how do you find the mean? Remember, it is sum over count. So that means we're going to add all these data values together, then divide by the count. We are sure that our count is 10, as we have 10 cases here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the count is 10. So the addition of all this is going to give us 1830 divided by 10. So the average is 183. So on average, there are 183 coronavirus survivors. Okay, so the next is the median, and to find median, remember we are looking for the middle value. Okay, so now there are 10 data value here, so which means it is even. So at the end of the day, that means you're going to have two middle values. Okay, so let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So in the middle with me left is 180 and 200. So your median is the average of these two middle values, 180 plus 200 divided by 2, and that is going to give you 380 divided by 2, which finally gives you 190. So the average, the median, the middle value is 190. Next is what we call mode. Remember, we said mode is the highest occurring value, okay, the most occurring. And if you look at your data value, we can see, yeah, 180 occurred twice, but 200 occurred 3 times, and 250 2 times. So 3 times is the highest, and that belongs to the data value of 200. And lastly, what is going to be the range? The range, the variability of this data set is the highest, like we said, minus the lowest value. Since we've ordered it, we can see the highest value is very obvious here as 250. So we have 250 minus the lowest value, which is 90. And this finally gives you 160. So the variability is 160 survivors. And this is going to be the end of today's tutorial. Thank you for watching, and please kindly subscribe to Prof. Dan Tutorials. Have a nice day. Bye bye.